So a narrow defeat at the weekend. You're obviously disappointed, but at the same time pleased with aspects that you saw. How has your players' reaction been this week?
Oh, look, obviously, the boys were hurting after the game. It was a tough one to take, like emotionally. I think we sort of built up for a positive response and a performance and getting a result, or getting our first result of the season. And unfortunately, we fell short. It was a tough one to take, because I felt the game was there to be won. I felt we put ourselves in a position to win the game, and unfortunately, probably a few lapses of concentration there, certainly defensively, cost us in the end. So, I thought opportunities missed, and I thought second half we showed a lot of patience and composure, and we're just happy to just get through the sets, turn the ball over in the right areas, back our defensive mentality, and ultimately we earned the right to go 14-8 up, and really with I think 8 minutes to go, it's we should have probably closed that game out, but it took a trick play from Barrow with 4 minutes to go to sort of catch us unawares, and unfortunately we couldn't defend the next play after that, as we were sort of scrambling back and sort of at sixes and sevens, and obviously disappointing to sort of put ourselves in a position where we come up with an error, I think, and it gave Barrow the field position with that huge win behind them to slot the 1-pointer over. But again, that was a play that we clocked off as well on, so we certainly looked at those things, and there's some good learning to take from it in terms of how to maybe manage a game if we're in that position again, and potentially areas of focus that we need to look at if we are in a tight game like that. So, but no, look, I thought considering the where we're currently at as a group, obviously we're not playing as well as we'd like to at this moment in time. I thought we did see some improvement from where we were the week before, and that's where we're at the moment. We've just got to keep focusing on us, looking to make those small improvements within our game with the personnel that we have available, and do the best we can, and that's all we can control. And hopefully, as we continue to persevere and improve, the tide will turn, so to speak, and we'll start to earn some results. But at the moment, we haven't been good enough, of course, over the course of the first 3 games to earn results at this moment in time. So, which ultimately, we need to start getting soon.
Is that starting to weigh on you a little bit, about the fact that you've not got a win yet this season, in the league anyway?
No, it's not weighing on me at all. I'm staying very sort of calm and collected with it. I understand where we're currently at as a group, and as coaches we've looked at where we need to really put our main focus on at the moment, because look, there's so many things that we could fix up. We can look at a game and dissect it and go, well, we're not doing that well enough, we're not doing that well, we are doing that not too bad, and whatnot. So it's important that we reinforce what we are doing well, but also just narrow our focus and just try and get one bit of our game right, and then we just got to keep building from there. So it hasn't helped, I guess, having a bit of disruption. We've had quite a lot of players missing in pivotal positions, and key players missing now for a number of weeks, and albeit some of it's self-inflicted, with our poor discipline, which we have to fix up as well, and we're working hard to fix up. But that's the reality of where we're at, and that's the cards we've been dealt with. So we have to do our best to manage that, navigate through this period, this tough period. But I'm confident that we've got a group of players there that will continue to stay focused and continue to drive from within to improve, and we'll turn the tide.
So how costly was that game at Barrow at the weekend? 2 obvious injuries, starting with Will Dagger.
Yeah, look, obviously it has been a costly one for us, unfortunately. Yeah, Will, I mean, that was... I've never seen anything like it. Such a freakish injury. You can't control those things. It is what it is. So, yeah, really unfortunate for Will. We're hoping he's not going to be out too long. Obviously, it was a nasty wound that's been attended to. So, yeah, we're hopeful he will only be out for a few weeks. So, but fingers crossed, everything goes well, with that. But yeah, really tough one for Will. He's obviously had a couple of weeks missing, and he's come back in, and I thought was looking quite lively early in the game for us and adding some real value there at the back. But yeah, unfortunately we lost him quite early in the game, and as I think it's been doing the rounds, hasn't it, on the social. So I don't know how that's got out, but I think people can see how what a horrific injury it was, really.
And Jimmy Kinehorst, a less horrific, more innocuous ankle problem. What's the prognosis for him?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's pretty sore at the moment. So he had it assessed last night, and we can't say exactly at this stage where we're at with it, but whether he features this week is yet to be seen. But yeah, again, a really unfortunate one. I mean, we know that the playing surface up there is not the greatest, and it's he's just literally. His ankle's got caught in a divot there on the pitch, and it's rolled, and it's caused him some problems. So he had to come off, obviously, in the game.
So looking at this squad that you've got, with the suspensions as well as the injuries, Liam Harris missing this weekend with suspension.
Yep.
Talk us through your halfback options, because they're going to be limited now, aren't they?
Well, it's funny that, joking aside, I remember actually chatting to a certain player at the start of pre-season. I said, look, mate, you're sixth choice halfback now. That the chances of you having to play in the halves again this season is going to be next to none. We've got that much cover now. And as it turns out, I may have to consider him this week in the halves. So who would have thought that coming into round 4 that we'd be in this position where we're missing our 2 starting halfbacks in Myler and Harris, and our backup halfback in Nick Williams, and probably our 4th choice halfback in Will Dagger, who's obviously plays fullback for us but can cover in the halves for you if needed. We're kind of left without a Hingano who's as we know, I've been evolving him into a 13 role this year for the team, but he's having to play in the halves currently. So, and doing a decent job as well for us, thankfully. Who's going to partner him this week? Well, we'll have a look at our options, but we've got our 6th and 7th choice options to consider. So we'll make a decision around that later in the week.
I know you're laughing, but I think it's more hysteria, isn't it, than anything else?
You just look at it and go, how is this happening? But again, you can focus on that, and you can go, well, I can't believe this, and feel sorry for yourself, and play the victim card. But listen, we are where we are. That's the reality. Some of those injuries, like the Richie Milo one, was a freakish injury. Fending off someone and does his ligaments in his elbow off the fact that's just, you can't control that. The Will Dagger one you can't control. Ultimately, Nick Howe and Liam, they've played a part in the reason they're not playing, and we have to look at that and be better moving forward. But that's where we're at the moment. But again, whoever comes in to fulfil those roles, I'm sure will do the best they can for the team in the current circumstances. And we've just, like you said, we've just got to navigate ourselves through this tough period at the moment. Again, I'd rather have the tough period now than having it, say, imagine we're coming into the finals at the back end of the season or something, and then you get hit with all this. It would almost derail your season. So, we are doing it tough at the moment. We can't deny that, and we've just got to find a way to come through it, which we will.
And I'm guessing you're light in the backs as well. If Jimmy Kinehorst's missing, Will Dagger's missing as well. How much of a headache is that one giving you? Yeah, we may have another one missing as well in the outside back department too. So, look, we are doing it. We are doing it light in that area as well. So, but like I said, that's the way it is. They're the challenges you're faced with as a coach and as a squad, and that's why we did try and get a few more numbers in our squad this year to try and alleviate any of that pressure. And like I said, whoever does go in there, I'm sure will do a decent job for us and do the best they can. And that's all we can ask of our players at this moment in time. I know you look long term, but at the moment, in the short term, it's pretty desperate. Have you looked at going into the loan market? Can you do that? Yeah, we are looking at some options there, but again, they've got to be the right type of players that are available for us. But we'll certainly make any announcements in due course if we're able to attain the services of any players on loan, or if we're able to bring any players in on a permanent basis. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, we are currently looking in the market at some potential options for different positions. But once again, they've got to be not only the right quality that's going to add value to the team from a playing point of view, but they've also got to be the right person that's going to fit this playing group as well. So we leave no stone unturned when it comes to our recruitment. They've got to be good people as well as good players. So so we are actively looking at the moment. there's a little bit of unrest among some sections of fans at the moment because of the lack of a win so far and how things have gone. What would you say to them at this point?
Yeah, I'd just say, look, I can understand their frustrations. I empathise with that. You know, at the end of the day, as a fan, you want to see your team winning, and ultimately you want to see your team playing well. You know, and we're not at the moment. We're not playing as well as we'd like to. That's fact. I can't hide behind that. You know, obviously, you know, I was very disappointed with the round one game. You know, because I just felt we did lack a bit of that sort of effort and intent with how we went about our business, which, you know, was disappointing. But I thought we showed a lot more positive signs around that against Toulouse, but it was just what we were doing with the ball. We just didn't play with smarts, and we missed a lot of opportunities. And then I thought at Barrow we made some improvement in terms of both sides of the coin there with the ball and defensively, but again just had some lapses of concentration and at key moments in that game that hurt us, unfortunately. So, yeah, look, I understand the frustrations of the fans. You know, at the end of the day, there's been, I guess, a lot of excitement built into this season. You know, we had a really strong finish as a group at the back end of last year. We've then added, you know, some quality personnel around at the core of what is already a good team, and we just haven't quite been firing yet. Again, you know, I'll say that, you know, there's probably apart from my side of things too. You know, I look at, you know, the first 3 games we had in the Cup, I deliberately used as sort of an opportunity to see every single player. So it was a different team in those 3 games. But that was my thought process. I wanted to reward everybody for their efforts through pre-season. I wanted to be able to assess where each player currently was in the pecking order. Who do we maybe need to look to develop elsewhere? Who do we need to keep within the core? Who's on the fringes? And just try and work that out. And then the plan was obviously, you know, in the Sheffield and the Oldham game was to sort of then streamline the team to be what we think is going to be ready for round one. But unfortunately, over those 2 games, we picked up injury and suspensions, which ultimately shifted then the dynamic of the team going into round one, which has then obviously changed again slightly for round 2, which has then changed again even more for round 3 and ultimately going to change even further for round 4. So we have really lacked, you know, that opportunity to build any genuine continuity, you know, certainly in key positions over the course of this first month of the season. But what I am seeing is some small steps of progress and improvement. And again, all I'll say to the fans is, you know, we've had 3 games, there's 23 rounds to go, there's 46 points still up for grabs. You know, again, opportunity to try and secure 2 points this week. And if it doesn't happen, well, we've still got, you know, 22 rounds and 44 points up for grabs. So there's plenty of time to turn it around. And I'm really confident that we will navigate through this tough period as a group. And I'm just hoping that they'll continue to support the team as they've done so well over the past 12 months since I've been here. You know, they're a great fan base that travel well. You know, they're loud, they're proud, and really supportive and encouraging of this team. So I hope that can continue. And I'm hoping that we will be able to produce some performances that they can be proud of as well, you know, because it's important that we reward our loyal fan base with good performances, which at the moment we've not been quite where we need to be at the moment. We'll take full responsibility for that.